Imagine going back millions of years in time, when Earth was still a wild and hostile place. Dense jungles, relentless deserts, and gigantic creatures dominated the planet. In this scenario, a fragile and small being began to emerge, without sharp claws, without deadly fangs, but with something that would forever change the fate of life: intelligence. This is the story of human evolution, an astonishing journey that begins with the first hominids, creatures that, though so similar to apes, carried within themselves the spark of change. While other animals depended solely on brute force, our ancestors developed a unique ability to adapt, and it was this capacity that allowed them to walk from simple survivors to masters of the planet. But the question is, how did such a vulnerable being manage to become dominant in a world full of predators? The answer begins around 7 million years ago, when Sahelanthropus chadensis walked through the African forests. It wasn't exactly human, but it brought something different, a more upright posture, which made it possible to see above the vegetation and use the hands more freely. Over time, other species appeared, such as Australopithecus afarensis, made famous by Lucy, the fossil discovered in Ethiopia. Lucy walked upright, but still had long arms to climb trees. This was the great turning point: bipedalism. By rising onto two legs, prehistoric man began to use his hands to create, manipulate, and transform. The simple act of walking upright opened the doors to all the inventions that would come in the future. And this is where the line of evolution began to accelerate, leading to changes that would shape our destiny. From bipedalism came new achievements. Homo habilis, about 2.5 million years ago, took the next step. He began to make stone tools. They were simple, sharp flakes, but they represented a giant leap. With them, hunting and cutting meat became more efficient, and the diet began to include proteins that boosted brain development. Intelligence flourished, and with it, curiosity and survival. Soon after came Homo erectus, the true time traveler. He not only mastered fire, but also left Africa and spread across various continents. Fire brought light to dark nights, warmth against the cold, protection from predators, and most importantly, the ability to cook food. And this detail changed everything. Cooked food released more energy, allowing the brain to grow even further, making Homo erectus an increasingly aware and powerful being. But evolution did not stop there. About 300,000 years ago appeared Homo sapiens, our species, marked by creativity and imagination. While the Neanderthals, strong and adapted to the cold of Europe, survived through strength and resilience, the Sapiens stood out for their ability to dream and create symbols. Cave paintings, rituals, sophisticated language, and the transmission of knowledge became their secret weapon. And this weapon was lethal. In a short time, our species dominated territories, developed societies, and survived where others disappeared. The ability to cooperate in increasingly larger groups made Homo sapiens the absolute protagonist of Earth. From fire to tools, from paintings to the first cities, everything was connected by a single thread: imagination. And it was imagination that transformed simple survivors into architects of empires. The journey of human evolution is, in fact, a story of overcoming. From fragile creatures, without natural weapons, we became space explorers, builders of cities, and creators of technologies that shaped the planet. And to think it all began with timid steps on the African savanna, when our ancestors first rose onto two legs. Today, looking back, we realize that our greatest strength was never brutality, but the ability to imagine, to cooperate, and to transform. And the great question that remains is, if we manage to leave the caves and conquer the world, how far can our evolution still take us? If this journey through the story of human evolution inspired you, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Here, we transform history, science, and great mysteries into powerful narratives that open your mind and spark your imagination. Join us and let us uncover together the secrets that shaped humanity and those that will define our future.